peace upon Israel. Your children shall be able to walk in your midst. Amen. Those that proclaim peace upon Israel. And that was the title of our tour. And I knew that this title would be displayed in our tour bus. We had one of those large 55-passenger buses. They put that, the name of your tour, right on the front windshield of that bus. Wherever you go, wherever you tour, through the small streets in Jerusalem, to the hills of Galilee and the Golan Heights, all the way into the very borders of Bethlehem on Mount of Olives, that name was upon there. And I told them specifically, I said, I want you to write it in Hebrew. I want you to list it in Hebrew. And I want everywhere that our tour group goes, I want the people to know that we are believing and praying for peace upon Israel. And unbeknownst to us, that as soon as we land, 2012, November 2012, war broke out. The same war that's going on today. It was a similar situation that was going on then 2 years ago. It was a similar situation a year prior to that, and almost every year. Thousands of rockets are sent across the Gaza Strip into Israel. And no one says anything until Israel says something about it or retaliates. And unbeknownst to us that this war would break out, and I believe it was the hand of God that had that title in mind and had that label in mind. And everywhere we went in the midst of this war, there we had it upon our bus, Shalom Al Yisrael. And our host, or our tour guide that was with us, and our bus driver seemed so moved by that. And I tried to make sure to take our group to all of the different areas that has seen conflict and conquest through the ages. From Nimrod up in the Golan Heights of the Crusader period in the 13th century, down to Gamla, to a part of the Great Revolt in the 1st century, just prior to the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. To Jerusalem, who's seen the removal of the temple and a building of a mosque. To Caesarea, where the Great Revolt began in 66 A.D. In all of these places we had gone with the proclamation, Shalom Al Yisrael. And I taught a lesson in Gamla that was entitled Shalom, just simply the peace of God. And we talked about that, overlooking that hill. Some of you saw the picture of that on our Wednesday night Bible study. We shared that, and I never forget our guide coming up to me after that. And he was so moved and touched by that. And he said, you know, we've had a lot of tour groups that come through, and he said, some have their own agenda. He said, but it touches me that your heart and that the heart of this group is for the peace of Israel. And I said, our heart is your heart. Our God is your God. We believe Jesus is the Messiah that has come to save the world. But one thing for sure, I said, I believe that God will bless those who pray and seek the peace of Jerusalem. And even today, in the midst of the conflict that they're in, I am praying for the peace of Jerusalem. Will it come by human hands? Temporarily. Prophecy records temporarily it will. But it won't last, because man's sense of peace has never lasted in that region, and it never lasts anywhere in the world. And it's when man's efforts fail that the King of all glory steps out. We call him the Prince of Peace, the one who said, my peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world gives. And the unique thing about that word peace, shalom in Hebrew, is this. It means completeness, soundness, wholeness. It not only just means peace of mind, but peace of heart, peace of character, peace of life, to be complete, to be whole. Shalom is a word from shalom, and it means to be paid in full. That the debt is paid in full. And nobody I know in this earth can do that, especially when it comes to sin. But Jesus paid it in full. And the day will come when the governments of this world fail and fall and crumble. Jesus will step out on the clouds of glory. He will stand upon Mount Zion, and the mountain will cleave in two, to the north and south, and a great river will begin to flow. Healing will come to the Dead Sea. Every eye shall behold him. Every knee shall bow. Every tongue shall confess, he is the Prince of Peace. Of his kingdom there is no end. And I'm praying for the peace of Jerusalem, but I know that it's coming when Jesus comes back. I'm praying for the peace of America, but I know that it's only coming when Jesus comes back. I'm praying for the peace of mankind, but it's only going to come through the power of the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ.